name is Tianna, and this is Tales from a Dark-Skinned Girl.
Hello, my name is Rondelle Martin, and this is a tale from a dark-skinned woman.
Growing up, yes, society did play a role in how I viewed myself and my confidence, but I came from a family where my grandmother called her grandchildren beautiful and her grandsons handsome. So my environment and my family, they nurtured us and told us we were beautiful and handsome and smart and we could be anything we want to be. So it really didn't matter so much when I was a little kid what I thought society thought of me, because I came from an environment that already had put the confidence in me and instilled in me that I was awesome and I can do anything I want to do. So my family played more of a role on how I viewed myself, because my mother and my father and my grandparents that gave me that confidence by their constant reassurance of, I'm black, I'm proud, I'm beautiful, and I'm smart, and I can do anything I want to do.
I do believe that society had somewhat of an impact on my self-confidence when I was growing up, because typically where I grew up, the women that were lighter skinned or that had a more ambiguous look to them were considered beautiful. And because I don't necessarily fit that mold of not only being lighter skinned, but shorter, petite, a certain body shape, I really did start to feel like I was lacking when it comes to physical appearance. And I really did start to feel down on myself, particularly in high school. Middle school, it kind of started, but high school, it got worse, because that's typically when people are really starting to date and get in relationships and things of that nature. And so when I would date or be in the dating scene, and guys even as young as high school age would be like, I only want a woman that looks like XYZ, and typically lighter skin, like I said, or ambiguous was within that description. And when I constantly did not fit that description, it really did start to affect my self-confidence. And I really did start to see myself as not being worthy and feeling like I'm not beautiful. So I would say from that standpoint, society did affect my self-confidence when I was growing up. And it took me many years, to be honest, to really get to a place where I can say that I have a healthy sense of self-confidence. And it's still a daily battle. It's still a daily job. But nowadays, navigating society as a darker skinned woman versus when I was younger, it is a little different for me. When I was younger, my parents are from Guyana, South America. And so I found that usually when people would see me, they'll be like, oh my gosh, you're pretty for a dark skinned girl. You look exotic, or whatever the case may be. And so I would kind of lean into that a little bit more and be like, yeah, I have Caribbean roots and this, that, the third, and try to be anything but just a darker skinned woman, and try to pull on other things about me that are more desirable, quote unquote, right? And so nowadays, I just really lean into being a darker skinned woman. I don't try to amplify certain parts of me to appear to be more exotic or appear to be more attractive, or, to appear to just be different. I really lean into it. I hold it up with pride. I love my darker complexion. I'm not as ashamed of it anymore, and I'm not looking for validation, like I said, and I'm just grateful to have those healthy relationships that have been in my life for decades and have been able to speak into me and remind me, like, you're beautiful, you're more than just your skin complexion, and you don't have to see it as a bad thing, it's a blessing. And so having those relationships really helped me, on top of honing into how I feel about myself, and then just really realizing, like, I don't have to try to be something that I'm not, and I don't have to try to impress people on something that's so, like, almost like I'm reaching for it to be impressive. Like I said, really, back in the day, I used to really pull on my Caribbean heritage, or, pull on this or pull on that to try to be like, well, hey, see, I'm not just a darker skinned woman. I have something, special about me. But it's like, no, like, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. It is what it is. That's just where I'm at now. When it comes to dating, I do feel that darker skinned women still get overlooked more than their lighter skinned counterparts because it still very much is a beauty standard to be lighter skinned in the dating scene, particularly. And so I feel like when it comes to darker skinned women, we either have to have like a ridiculously perfect body, or we have to have like, you know, a looser curl pattern to our hair. There has to be something about us that just stands out so much and is quote unquote exotic or special that gives us the same amount of attention and love and affection as our lighter skinned counterparts. And if not, we are usually viewed as the type that are going to put in the work, roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty and be ride or die and extra loyal and just so grateful to get attention that we typically are approached, in my experience and in my observations, with less respect. We're approached with an attitude of like, you should be grateful that I'm talking to you. We're usually approached from an over sexualized position. And again, this is just my experience, but I very much do believe that darker skinned women do have it harder in dating. It's not impossible, but there are different barriers that we have to jump through. There's different hoops that we have to get through in order to reach a healthy relationship. And it really is sad that that's just what it is, but it's reality. And I know I've had men flat out tell me like, hey, I date darker skinned women because they are more willing to put in the work. They are more loyal to me. It's usually a very self-centered approach to dating versus what I've noticed with my lighter skinned friends or lighter skinned counterparts. They're usually getting approached from a standpoint of like, I want to be there for you, or I want to serve you. I want to be in your life, and it will be an honor for me to be your man. Versus the darker skinned woman, it's like, hey, I'm here. You should be grateful. Come on, like put in the work, and it is what it is. Just be happy that I'm even talking to you. So what I would tell my younger self when it comes to self-love, confidence, and being a Black woman is that we have to love ourselves as Black women, particularly as darker skinned Black women. We have to love ourselves. We have to do the internal work to figure out what are some triggers that we have, what are some obstacles that we are battling with internally that are keeping us from seeing our worth and seeing our value. And you don't ever want to doubt yourself. Yes, the journey might be hard. Every day you're not going to feel like you are worth $1 million, but you are priceless. And do not let anybody take your crown off your head or shift your crown. Hold your head up high, do the internal work, and really just get to a place where even if nobody else tells you that you love yourself and you know that you are worthy and you are an original and nobody else can do it like you and you are here for a reason. So that's what I would tell my younger self. Fix your crown, hold your head up high, and keep walking with confidence and boldly as a Black woman. As far as media is concerned, it did play a role in how I viewed myself when I was younger, only because, again, like when you're constantly being shown images of what beauty is considered to be, or in movies, you know, we all grew up seeing those princess movies where the love interest looks a certain way or the princess looks a certain way. So when you grow up seeing that and you don't fit that image, it will affect you in some way, shape, or form. And so I do think from that standpoint, the media affected how I viewed myself because I did not see myself in the love interest. I did not see myself in the princess or the main character that was like the star of the show. So I do think that we can definitely get influenced by media. For me personally, I think that's as far as it went because it was more so my day-to-day interactions with people that affected how I viewed myself.
So, do I believe the media played a role in how I viewed myself when I was younger? Um, yes. I mean, I love seeing dark-skinned girls like myself on TV. My favorite show was The Cosby Show. I was around the same age as Rudy Huxtable, who was the star of The Cosby Show, Keisha Knight Pulliam. I mean, she was my favorite childhood actress in the 80s. I simply adored everything she did. She could sing, she could dance, she could act. I mean, she was funny, she was cute, she was smart. She definitely inspired me. So seeing her on The Cosby Show every Thursday night at 8 o'clock was, you know, something that I look forward to. And then as I grew up, more. So I had Tatiana Ali from First Prince of Bel-Air. She was dark skinned. She was fly and trendy and sassy, but cute too, you know. I mean, Moesha, I mean, she's dark skinned. She's a singer. She's an actress. She was phenomenal as well. So, all of those images of seeing young black girls do their thing, being chocolate, and, you know, breaking through Hollywood and breaking through standards did help mold me to understand that, you know, I can do anything I want to do, and I don't have to worry about my skin complexion so much, because these young ladies are doing it. So if they are doing it, then I can do it too. Um, well, when I was younger, yes, I was told constantly that, oh, you are a pretty dark skinned girl. You know, it's an insult, it's a compliment that goes bad to an insult. It's like, for some reason, I think because of the old media images of like the Aunt Your Mamas and, um, you know, stereotypes that where they would intentionally choose like very dark skinned women and have them playing like degrading and are dumb, or, you know, roles and characters did play an effect on how people view dark skinned women. And you know, I felt like it was because of those type of images, which is what made people say, "Oh, you're the exception, being dark skinned. You know, you're cute." But it was just like, my skin complexion isn't what is going to make me cute. Is more so what's inside, what I express outwardly, how I treat other people, and carry myself. But yeah, I was told that a lot growing up, and I don't get told that so much today, because times have changed. People are embracing their melanin. We're getting back to being black and proud. And so, no, I don't get called that much now, but I did get told that a lot growing up.
And some of those day-to-day interactions that really affected me was being told that I was pretty for a dark-skinned girl. I really cannot stand when I get told that, but I have been told that before. I still get told that to this day, thankfully not as often, but I definitely have been told that before. And it's really disturbing that that's even a phrase that's said, and that it's said in a way that I'm supposed to feel honored and like it's a compliment, but it's not a compliment. Not in my eyes, at least.
How did I build my self confidence as a dark skinned woman? Well, my self confidence was really low in middle school and high school. It's kind of like not liking my complexion, not liking my weight and my physique, because I was bony and skinny. I wouldn't wear shorts or skirts. I would only wear pants all the time, and because I didn't have the confidence to show my legs. And I got to the point where that was such a burden to continue to carry and like live with. So I promised myself when I graduated from high school that I would go off to college, and I had a fresh new opportunity, and I didn't have to worry about people picking on me because I was skinny or because I was chocolate, because I chose a black college to go to, so I was going to be surrounded around other black women. And when I took that leap of faith and I told myself, okay, now this is what I'm going to do going forward. I am going to wear skirts. Even though I don't have bad memories of high school, I didn't really feel like I was living my life out to the fullest. So when I graduated from high school and I got a scholarship to go off to school in North Carolina to an HBCU, I promised myself that now that nobody is going to know me there, no one's going to know that I never wear shorts or skirts. So no one's going to make a big deal when I decide to wear them because I am in this new place. I have an opportunity to kind of live life, the life that I really want, and be who I want to be in my skin without worrying or caring about how anyone thinks or feels about me. And I'm telling you, that was the best decision, one of the best decisions I made in my life, because I just immediately had the confidence. I didn't really care about the fact that I was skinny because I looked around and there was other skinny girls just like me too, and they loved themselves and they were embracing who they were, and they didn't worry about, oh, their legs are showing, oh, I'm too dark or anything. And that really reinforced that confidence within myself that I can do it as well. And that's how I began to gain my self-confidence, was in college. I did that in college. How I navigated through society now, being a dark-skinned girl compared to when I was a child, is when I was a kid, I was more worried about what other people thought about me. Today, I can care less, more so about what people think about me. I'm going to live my life to the fullest. I'm going to be a great person. I'm going to try to treat people the way I want to be treated. But at the end of the day, if you don't like who I am, then I really don't care anymore, because everybody has an opinion and I'm not going to please everyone. Everybody's going to, someone's going to always have something to say about how you're living your life, what you should and you shouldn't be doing. And if I consume my time worrying about pleasing someone else, then I don't have much time pleasing myself. So that is the difference. Like, I don't really care about trying to impress you or make you feel like me. I'm just gonna be me, and if it don't work between us, then yeah, we're just not the right cup of tea for each other.
One of the ways that I built my self-confidence as a darker skinned woman is really just surrounding myself with people that are uplifting and that can speak life into me. So making sure that I had a solid circle of people around me. Thankfully, I was blessed, and I am blessed with parents that always told me how beautiful I am and always reminded me that I'm worthy and I'm attractive and so on and so forth. So that was one thing that really helped, having healthy friendships and family relationships, and then also just really tying into my sense of self-worth, not so much relying on what other people say, like, yes, that is important, but really honing in on what I believe about myself and working on that.
The dating, do I feel that dark skinned women get looked over? When I was in middle school, I would have said yes. None of the boys like me. They only like the light skinned girls. But now I don't necessarily feel that way. Not today, no. Um, my husband of 11 years is light skinned. He tells me all the time how he was teased about being light skinned. So we share our stories about, how we were both teased about our complexion. So he's had his issues too with his complexion, and I've had mine. But just because I'm dark skinned, I don't think that, a light skinned man is not going to be attracted to me. I really think that's pure ignorance, and that is something that society has put into us to make us think that. But nowadays people are more conscious, and people understand that the more melanin is in, and I'm confident that whether you're light, brown, dark, if there's a connection, it's going to work. It doesn't necessarily matter about your skin complexion anymore. So if I could talk to little Tianna, I would tell her to not care about what anybody has to say to you regarding how skinny you are, how dark you are, but to continue to do the things that make you happy and pursue the things that you want to do in life and always give your best, and you're going to be all right.